Hey, this is MJ, and in today's tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to make these nice, cozy, super bulky mittens. It's a nice beginner-friendly pattern. It's just worked in simple crochet stitches, and this pattern works up super quick. So I'm going to be showing you my teen size, which is a ladies size mitten, but if you go to the blog, I have all of these sizes listed. So I have a large men's size mitten here. The ladies, I have a child, a toddler, and even a little baby. The baby doesn't have a thumb, but it's nice, a little baby size. And these all coordinate with my beginner bulky beanie that I just posted recently, and I'll have a link in the description box where you can find the matching hat video for this pattern. I'll be using Lion Brand Woolies Thick and Quick for this video. I'm using the color, I believe it is Blossom for this tutorial, and you'll need one skein for the lady size. You may need about 2 for the men's size, but all of the other sizes you can make a pair of mittens out of just one ball. And the hook I'm using is an 8mm crochet hook. This is a Furls Streamline hook, and there'll be links for the supplies in the description box. But make sure to check your gauge. You may need to go up a hook size or down a hook size in order to meet the gauge. You do want your mittens to fit correctly, so make sure just to adjust accordingly. And this is my child size set, and you can see how cute the hat and the mittens look together. They make a great gift or set, and they're so easy and quick to make. These mittens are worked from the cuff up, so we're going to be starting with the cuff. We're going to begin by chaining 7. So put a slip knot on your hook and chain out 7. Then we're going to work in the second chain from the hook a single crochet and work across the chain in single crochet stitches. So you're going to end up with 6 stitches. We're going to chain and turn, chain 1 and turn. And now for the band, we will be working in the back loops only. So if you look at your stitch, you can see these V's here. You're just pushing your hook down through the center, going through the back loop only, and completing a single crochet stitch. And then you'll chain 1 and turn. So the band is just worked, or the cuff is just worked in rows like this. And for our lady size, we're going to work a total of 14 rows. So just continue working single crochets in the back loop only. So once you've worked up your 14 rows, what I'd like you to do is chain 1. And I want you to look at your work so that your ridges look like this. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So we're ending on our right side. We're going to fold it together. And we're going to slip stitch the rows together to form our cuff. So let's go through the back loop only, going across to the first chain and slip stitch. Go through the next stitch and across to the second chain. Just repeat this all the way down, seaming it together, and this will make the join look really good. Okay, so you should be slip stitching across 6, chain 1, and then I will flip the band so you can see here how it just seamlessly joins with your ridging. Now what we'll do is we're going to work single crochet stitches around the cuff. Okay, so we have 14 rows. I want you to single crochet around 14. So now always when I do this, when I'm single crocheting into rows, I like to kind of look how the rows work. So as you can see, this part's gonna look thicker, and then you're gonna have this little hole, thicker, and then a little hole. It'll help you kind of judge what row you need to be working into. So there's 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I just crocheted over my tail as I went. And 14. Okay, so now what we want to do is slip stitch to join. I'm going to show you how to do the seamless join here. So instead of going from front to back, we're going to go back to front. Make sure to keep this yarn to the front of your work. You're just going to grab it and pull it through. And then we'll chain 2. This mitten pattern just uses basic stitches, so it's really great for beginners, and it works up really quick. So it matches our beginner bulky beanie that's worked in double crochet, so I'm going to work the mitten in double crochets as well. So what I want to do is start increasing the mitten. Okay, so we can make room for our thumb and the rest of the mitten part. So I'm going to work a double crochet in the first stitch, a double crochet in the next stitch, and then I'll work 2 double crochet. Double crochet in the next 2, and then 2 double crochet. Okay, so just repeat that pattern around, going 1 double crochet in the next 2, and then 2 in the third stitch. So as you're coming around, I'm working 2, and then we just have 2 stitches left, so let's just work 1 double crochet into each of the last 2. And now again, we're going to slip stitch to join. So I'm going to go back to front through the top. You're going through the top of the stitch. So you're looking for those 2 loops. We're not going into the chain. You want to go into the stitch, the first stitch. So go through back to front. And then we're grabbing the yarn and just pulling it through and chain 2. Okay, so at this point we have 18 stitches. Okay, so now for the next round, we're going to work a double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. One, 2, 3, and then we're going to work 2 into the next. So double crochet into each of the next 3. 1, 2, 3, and then 2 in the next. Okay, so I've worked all the way around, and again we're going to have 2 stitches at the end. I'm worked up to 20 stitches, so there's 21 and 22. And then you'll just slip stitch to join. And we'll chain 2. Now you're going to love how easy these mittens are to make. this round now we're going to section off for our thumb and the upper part of our hand. So what we're going to do is I'm going to leave 6 stitches for my thumb. So if we take 6 away from 22, we should have 16 stitches for this section of our mitten, and so 16 and 6 for the thumb. So I'm going to break that into half. So half of 16 is 8. So I'm going to work across 8 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so I've worked half of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we're going to skip across 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is for our thumb, and I'm just going to continue working double crochets into the last 8 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so now we'll just slip stitch again to join, going from back to front. Keep this yarn to the front of your work, and we're just going to pull it through and chain 2. And that's really going to keep this join really just invisible. And your mittens are going to work for either hand. So the left hand is just going to come on like this. So you can try this on and see how it's fitting. Like, they're going to be loose. So I have a fairly small hand, but it's going to fit. If your hand's a bit larger, you have a bit larger fingers, it's going to fit most women's hand sizes. As you can see, you just put it on the other hand. It's going to work both ways. So now what we're going to do is we're going to work this part of our mitten, the upper part. So I've worked 3 rounds, and what I want to do is work another 3 before we do a decrease round. So now we're working though around 16 stitches. So for the next 3 rounds, I just want you working 1 double crochet into every stitch around for a total of 16. And now the pattern is free on the blog that has all of the sizes. So if you want to do a smaller size or a men's, you can go over to the blog and just follow along. And when you get to this section here, you're just working in each of the stitches. You want to make sure to check your gauge if you're substituting yarns, or even sometimes between colors. Some of the colors can work up a little bit bigger. So you may need to drop your hook size in order to kind of keep each of the sizes consistent. Okay, so I am just going to continue working my 3 rounds off camera, and then I'm going to meet you back up again. Okay, so I finished up my 6th round, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I've already chained 2. So what we're going to do for the final round is some decreases. So to do a double crochet decrease, we're going to yarn over, go through the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go into the next stitch, pulling up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 3. And we're doing the same thing across the next 2 stitches. So we're doing decreases all the way around. Yarn over, go through the stitch, pulling up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go through the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pulling through all 3. Okay, so once I've gotten all the way around, so we've reduced from 16 to 8 stitches. I'm now going to fasten off. And at this point, this is really easy to pull in the top of the mitten. Take your yarn needle for super bulky yarn. I'm going to push this through. And then what you're going to do is work through the front loops only of every stitch around. I just go through a few at a time just to speed things up. Okay, and then all you're going to do is pull that closed. Okay, so I just woven my ends and trim them so the top is finished. And now what we'll do is join on to make our thumb. So you want to find your first stitch. So remember we left 6 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're just going to join in with our yarn. Okay, and I'm going to chain 2 to get that started. And now I'm going to work around in double crochets 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. Okay, so we've worked around 6 stitches. We're going to turn. Now we're going to have this big hole, but that's okay. Let's not worry about that. What you want to do is slip stitch into the first double crochet to join. I'm just going to still do the same seamless join I've been doing. I'm going to chain 2. So you're going to have this big hole. That's how it is supposed to look. We're just going to sew that together at the end. So I'm going to work around 6 stitches again. Okay, and slip stitch to join. Okay, so there's our thumb. You can give it a try just to make sure it fits okay. If you needed to make this thumb a bit shorter, you could do half double crochets. So we're going to fasten off with a tail. And we're going to close this up the same way we did the top of the mitten. First, I'm going to push that through, and then I'm just going to work around the front loops only. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then that just closes the thumb. You can weave in your tails just to keep all that nice and secure. And I like to go back in the opposite direction. Now, depending on how much tail you have left, you could just take this tail to seam your mitten. This one here we've crocheted over it, so you can just weave that one back in the opposite direction. Now you can flip your mitten inside out to seam this, or just go right down and seam it together. It's really just closing up this hole. We don't want. So if you fasten off with a little bit of longer tail than I did, you can really save some time and just use the tail to sew it. If not, if you don't have enough, I'm kind of running short, you just join on a piece, flip your mitten inside out and seam it. Weave those tails. So this is how your mitten's gonna look. I'm gonna have to weave that little tail that I have there. Okay, so I finished up my mitten. I'm just gonna put it on here to show you how it looks all finished. They're nice and cozy and thick and big. So it is super bulky yarn, so they're gonna be really thick and bulky, but it's a nice warm, they're nice and warm for winter, and they go perfectly with the bulky hat, and it makes a really quick and easy set to make. So you can see them here with the matching hat. It makes a really nice, quick and easy set. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and tap the bell to stay updated on all my new videos and tutorials.